How a Nurse Fulfilled a Patient's Last Wish. True story. Paola's hands trembled as she read the note that had fallen from Marco's medical chart. Don't trust anyone. My life is in your hands. Meet me at midnight. Marco. She looked around the deserted corridor of the Santa Rosa Clinic. It was almost midnight. Her heart was beating wildly. What did Marco mean? Why was he in danger? Paola was only 21 and had been working as a nurse for barely 7 months. She was still learning, trying to prove she deserved that position. But Marco Ferri, the 26-year-old patient in room 8, had captured her attention from the first moment he was admitted. He had arrived 3 weeks earlier, complaining of severe chest pain. The doctor had said his heart was weak and that he might not have much time left. Yet, there was something strange about him. He was too calm, almost serene, for someone facing death. Too charming, too enigmatic. Paola? Marco's voice came faintly from his room. She entered, closing the door behind her. Moonlight filtered through the window, illuminating his dark hair. Even with the hospital gown on, he looked like he'd stepped out of a movie. You found my note, he said, sitting up. Marco, what's happening? Why did you write that your life depends on me? He gave a slight smile and indicated the empty space beside him. Sit down, please. Paola cautiously sat on the edge of the bed. Being so close to him agitated her. For 3 weeks she had tried to maintain a strictly professional relationship, but Marco didn't make it easy. He smiled at her in a way that made her heart beat faster. He asked about her dreams, her fears, her life, remembering every little detail she confided in him. When she was on night duty, he stayed awake just to talk with her. I have to tell you something, Marco said, taking her hand. His touch was warm, and Paola's skin ignited as if it had caught fire. But first I need to know something. Do you feel it too? Feel what? She murmured, although she knew exactly what he meant. This connection between us. This feeling that maybe it was destiny that we met. Paola's face turned red. Marco, I'm your nurse, I can't. Forget the rules for just 1 minute. He interrupted, moving even closer. Tell me the truth. Do you think about me when you go home? Do you look forward to seeing me every day? She couldn't lie. Yes. A flash of emotion crossed Marco's gaze. I think about you too, every second. When I close my eyes, I see your face. When I'm afraid of dying, thinking of you gives me courage. He raised a hand, touching her cheek. Paola, I know it's crazy. I know I might not have much time. But I think I've fallen in love with you. Her breath stopped for an instant. I dream of a life with you, if I could heal. He continued with a trembling voice. I'd like to take you to see the sea. Really go out together. Build something of our own. His eyes were full of hope, so sincere that Paola felt herself being pulled even deeper into that abyss she could no longer ignore. And if you don't heal? She asked in a low voice. Then at least I'll have known love before the end. Marco moved even closer. Will you give me a chance? Will you allow yourself to feel what I know you're feeling? Before Paola could answer, the heart monitor began beeping wildly. Marco's face paled, and he brought a hand to his chest. Marco, she shouted, running to check his vital signs. His heartbeat was irregular and very rapid. I'm fine, he gasped, but his breathing was labored. It happens to me. Sometimes. Paola helped him lie down again. As his heartbeat slowly returned to normal, something chilled her blood. Small red marks had appeared on his arm, marks she had never seen before. They looked like needle marks, but not those from the fore. These marks were different, older. Marco, what are these marks on your arm? Paola asked, feeling a shiver down her spine. His eyes widened, full of fear.
Paola, listen carefully.
I need you to do something for me, but you must swear to me it will remain secret. What should I do? At my place, in my apartment, there's something hidden. If something should happen to me, you must find it. It's the only proof that can demonstrate the truth. Paola felt herself freeze. What truth? Marco, you're scaring me. He looked around anxiously. This room isn't safe. Not even this hospital is safe. Some doctors, aren't who they say they are. What does that mean?
Paola stammered.
I can't explain everything now, but promise me one thing. What? If I die, don't believe it was from natural causes. And whatever happens, don't let them give me any more injections. At that moment, footsteps echoed in the corridor. Marco grabbed Paola's arm. Someone's coming. Hide. Marco, tell me what's happening. Please hide now. Paola, terrified, took refuge behind the dividing curtain just as the door opened. Through a small gap, she saw a man in a white coat enter. It wasn't Dr. Rinaldi, the one who always followed Marco. It's time for your medicine, he said with a cold voice that had nothing reassuring about it. I don't want any more medicine, Marco protested. I'm afraid that's not your choice, the man retorted, preparing a syringe. Paola held her breath as she watched the scene. Marco tried to react, but he was too weak. Please, I know what you're doing, he murmured, as the man injected the liquid into the fore. In a few seconds, Marco's eyes closed and his body relaxed unnaturally. Sleep well, the fake doctor said with an icy smile, then left without turning around. As soon as the door closed, Paola ran to Marco. His breathing was irregular and too slow. She checked the medical chart, and what she discovered made her hands tremble. That drug wasn't part of Marco's therapy. It wasn't even a heart medication. A horrible thought struck her like a punch to the stomach. Someone was poisoning Marco slowly, so it would seem like just a worsening of his supposed heart disease. But why? And who, among all the staff, was plotting against him? Looking at Marco's sleeping face, Paola made a decision. She would protect him. She would discover who was trying to kill him and would fulfill his last wish, whatever it was. But first she had to keep him alive until morning. The wall clock read 0:47. Paola sat beside the bed, preparing for the longest night of her life. She didn't know that, around the corner of the corridor, someone was watching her. Someone who now knew she had seen too much. Paola didn't sleep a wink. She stayed awake, monitoring Marco's breathing and checking his parameters every few minutes. The unknown drug had made him very weak, but he was still alive. When the sun began to filter through the windows, Marco slowly opened his eyes. Paola? He whispered with a faint voice. I'm here, she replied, squeezing his hand. We need to talk about what happened last night. He stared at her with desperate intensity. You saw him, didn't you? The man who pretended to be a doctor. Yes, he injected you with something that wasn't marked on your chart. Marco, someone wants to hurt you. I know, he admitted with a shadow of resignation. I've known for weeks. Then why didn't you tell the real doctors? Why didn't you call the police? Marco shook his head. Because I don't know who to trust. The person who wants to kill me works here, inside these walls. Paola's heart accelerated. Do you know who it is? Not yet, but I know why they want me dead. His eyes clouded with sadness. Paola, I haven't told you the whole truth. I'm not really sick. What? My heart is healthy. Someone is poisoning me, day after day, with small but constant doses, so it looks like heart disease. Paola shook her head in disbelief. It's impossible. You've been here for 3 weeks. 3 weeks of poison, Paola. 3 weeks in which they weakened me little by little. Unfortunately, I realized it too late. She squeezed his hand hard. If you're not really sick, then we can stop them. We can save you. Marco lowered his gaze, shaken by fear and resignation, and he slowly shook his head. It's too late, Marco whispered with a thread of voice. Last night's injection was different, more powerful. I feel it acting inside me. Paola's eyes filled with tears. No, I won't let you die. Paola, listen to me. You must fulfill my last wish. It's the only way to stop them and prevent them from hurting other people. Tell me what I have to do. Marco reached under the pillow and pulled out a small brass key. It opens a safe deposit box at the central bank on Via Roma. It's box number 312. Inside you'll find proof of who's poisoning me and the reason they're doing it. Paola clutched the key between her trembling fingers. Why not go straight to the police? Because the person behind all this has powerful friends. If you don't bring proof, they'll never believe you. That box is the only chance to stop them. What kind of proof is there? Photos, documents, recordings, everything that proves they're testing dangerous drugs on unsuspecting patients. Paola felt her stomach turn. They're using people as guinea pigs? Yes, and when patients get too sick or start asking questions, they eliminate them, making it all look like a natural death. How do you know? Marco's face darkened. Because I worked for them. Paola withdrew her hand, as if burned. What? I was a researcher for MedPharma, the company that has a secret agreement with this hospital. I myself contributed to developing some of the drugs they now use for testing. You helped these people do harm? I didn't know the truth at first. I believed I was working on medicines that would save lives. But when I discovered what was really happening, I tried to resign. That's when they decided I had to be eliminated. Paola stood up, confused and hurt. And everything you told me about your love for me, was it just a lie? Marco reached out to her. No, Paola, my feelings for you are the only real thing in this nightmare. Every word I told you was sincere. How can I believe you? If I were lying, would I ask you to risk your life to stop them? Paola lowered her gaze to the key she still clutched. If I do this, what will happen to you? Marco shook his head, resigned. I probably won't make it to tonight. The poison is too strong by now. Then I'll stay here to protect you. You can't. If they discover you're involved, they'll kill you. And then there'll be no one who can stop them. Paola sank into the chair beside the bed and took his hand. Marco, I can't just watch while you die. You're not letting me die. You're helping me save other lives. It's all I want now. Then he reached into his hospital gown and pulled out a folded sheet. There's another thing you need to know. In the box you'll also find a letter. It's addressed to a very important person to me. Who? My sister, Chiara. She doesn't know I'm here, nor about what I've been involved in. In the letter I explain everything and ask her forgiveness. Paola's heart jumped. Chiara? What's her last name? Chiara Rinaldi. Why? Paola's breath broke. Marco, Chiara Rinaldi is my sister. He stared at her, shocked. It's impossible. Chiara has been living in Berlin for months. Paola shook her head, tears in her eyes. No, she's my older sister. Paola, Chiara isn't in Berlin. She disappeared 3 months ago. They took her to force me to keep quiet. The room spun around Paola, who felt faint. What are you saying? I'm saying your sister is alive, but a prisoner of the same people who want to kill me. The proof in the box indicates where they're keeping her. Paola felt her legs give way. They have Chiara? Yes. And if you don't deliver that proof to the police, they'll kill her. At that moment, in the corridor more footsteps were heard and agitated voices. They're coming, Marco whispered, terrified. You have to go now. I'm not leaving you here. Paola, if they catch you, they'll kill us both. And then no one will be able to save your sister. The footsteps grew closer. The voices were now clearly audible. Jump out the window, Marco said urgently. It's only the first floor, you can make it. Paola quickly kissed him on the forehead. I'll come back for you. No. Promise me you won't come back, that you'll save Chiara and stop these people. Tears streamed down her face. I promise. She slipped out the window just as the room door burst open. From outside, Paola heard agitated voices, but couldn't distinguish the words. She ran to the car and sped off, headed to the central bank. Paola's hands trembled as she inserted Marco's small key into the lock of safe deposit box 312. When the lid opened, her breath caught in her throat. Hundreds of photographs, files, and a small portable recorder were piled inside. The evidence was terrifying. MedPharma had been testing extremely dangerous drugs on hospital patients for years. Many of them had died, and the truth had always been covered up. At the bottom of the box, Paola found 2 sealed envelopes. One was addressed to Chiara, to explain everything and ask her forgiveness for involving her. The other, to her enormous surprise, was addressed to her. With trembling hands, Paola opened the letter. Dear Paola, if you're reading these words, I'm probably gone. I want you to know that meeting you was the only beautiful thing in this hell. Your kindness and your love gave me hope when I thought I had none left. I'm sorry for lying to you about my illness. I'm sorry for dragging you into this danger. But I don't regret falling in love with you. In another life, maybe we could have been happy together. Maybe we could have had that life by the sea I've always dreamed of. Please save your sister. She's innocent in all this. And forgive me if I wasn't the man you thought I was. I love you, Paola, and I will always love you. Paola burst into tears, clutching the letter to her chest. Then she collected all the material and ran to the police station. 2 hours later, law enforcement raided the hospital and arrested 5 people, including the fake doctor who had poisoned Marco. Subsequently, they searched MedPharma headquarters and found Chiara alive, locked in an underground office. She was terrified but safe. When Paola returned to the hospital with the police, Marco's room was empty. The nurses said he had been transferred to another facility, but Paola knew the truth. Marco had kept his promise to protect her, even if it cost him his life. 6 months later, Paola continued to visit Marco's grave every week. She told him about Chiara's progress, now recovering, about the trial that had put MedPharma's criminals in prison, and about the lives saved thanks to his sacrifice. She never forgot his last wish, to save innocent people from the evil he himself, once, had helped create. And she never forgot that, even in his darkest moment, Marco had chosen love instead of fear. For Paola, Marco Ferri didn't die as a victim, but as a hero, and she would do everything so the world would remember him that way.